These are water sufficient succulent pots in the sense that the plants are already big enough to be able to hold moisture in their leaves and therefore can go without being watered for a long time. This is an ideal pot for when you have to go away on a holiday. During summer even, you can go away, or I can go away for a month without having to worry about watering my babies. But in winter, or when the weather cools down, they can even go longer without being watered. This beautiful Echeveria Papis rose has just been potted up last night, so fresh from the oven. So what is a water sufficient succulent pot? This is a water sufficient succulent pot. A water sufficient succulent pot should be able to hold enough moisture for the plant to survive on without being watered for a long time. So these are all water sufficient pot. But what about if you just have newly emerged pups or little babies that needed more attention? Hello there, my name is Liz, a self-confessed succulent addict. Welcome to my channel, Growing Succulents. It is now time for these succulents to graduate from being grown in my propagation mix to my long-term no watering mix. So in this video, I'd like to show you my setup for growing or transplanting these succulents that I've grown, to transfer it now into a pot wherein I can leave it for a long time without watering. So you can see they're all very crowded. The pots that they're in, I can leave it there if I'm here to water them. But if I'm not here to water them, so especially this one here, they were like bumping each other's head or head-butting each other. So they really need to be thinned out. So this one needs to be thinned out, and these ones need to be transplanted into proper soil. So they've been living here for about 3 to 4 months, so about 3.5 months, and those ones are earlier. So these ones, I've actually propagated these ones or plucked the leaves of this Graptopetalum paraguayense bernalense. They are bernalense. Look how nice and fat they are. So these ones, I'm going to put them in pretty pots. But the rest of them, I'm going to put, see this Augusta here, I'm going to put that in its own separate pot. That's a crested golden Maria. This one is Nexana. This is also Nexana. And a few PVN. I've got some Laui. That's a Laui there. And that's a Laui and that's another Laui. Parpasarum. This one is Mundas. Those ones are Crassula. Graptoveria rapico. And they're very prolific growers with Beverly. So these are Beverly. So these ones now, I'm going to need to transplant them into a big pot that I don't need to water for a long time. The rest I can leave. This one actually, this is grown in a master succulent soil mixed in the bottom with cocoa peat on top. So I need to really thin this out. So now I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. So what I have here is a basket that I got from Kmart. So I've been looking for something like this for a long time with this configuration. So something rectangular and about 4 inches high. So perfect height for me to put my soil and also put my plants in basically. So now I've got a curtain, a lace curtain sort of cut up to the size of roughly, doesn't have to be exact, so you can see that sort of even out on all sides. There's a bit of excess, that's why I said roughly will do. And then what I'm going to do is put them in there, okay, and put this over that, and we'll take some pegs and I'll peg the edge over here. Okay, now do the sides, and I'm just gonna fold that over there and then use the peg in the corner. So I've got one corner done, and I'll stretch this out and do the opposite side. So basically I'm just using this to line my basket, so it doesn't have to be exact. It can be any way you want as long as it's roughly tight. Okay, now so there you go, and I'll put another peg in here just in case for good measure. So roughly, you can do it much neater than I can, but there you go. That's good enough. And line it with a newspaper. So I normally just double it up. This is says the good guys. You don't have to be a good guy to do this. You can be a bad guy and still do this. But anyway, I'm just basically lining it all up there. Okay. It's just to stop the dirt from going over our lace curtain. Okay, so you get the idea. I lined it all the way around, and then I'm gonna put my peg there, put my other peg there, because the newspaper will eventually decompose. Once your plant roots up, anyway, that will hold everything in. That's it. Rough as guts. That means very rough, but it will do. You can make it neat like I normally do, but doing the video is a bit difficult to make it neat because I'm working sideways here. And then now I'm gonna put my soil. Before I put my soil, I always put, this is just bark, big pieces of wood or wood chips that's I've sieved from my potting mix. And I'm gonna put this in the bottom of this. Why I'm doing this is just to build up the base. That way you don't have to put too much soil, or you don't use up that much soil or your master succulent soil mix. And then I'll put another layer of newspaper. If you have plenty of soil, you can put some soil straight in, but I'm trying to conserve my soil because it's not really necessary. There you go. So eventually, once the newspaper gets wet, or your soil gets wet, the newspaper will get wet, and eventually it will just deteriorate or disintegrate so into the soil. So it doesn't really matter. So that's really, really good to do that. But anyway, I'm gonna put my soil now on top. So I'm using my master succulent soil mix, by the way, for this exercise. So now I can remove the pegs. And if I want to, I can tuck in the newspapers, but not necessary. So it can flick out, it doesn't matter. You can put your plants in individual pots or terracotta pots like what I've been doing before. But I find that this is the most efficient way of propagating succulents really fast, and they grow quite fast as well, doing it this way. Color wise, they sort of stay mostly green, they just grow quick. I also put some fertilizer. This is master succulent soil mix, and then I put some fertilizer. So this is not intermediate soil mix, by the way. Okay, so this is master succulent soil mix. So anyway, that's it. Now I'm ready to put my plants in. So this is Echeveria Nexana variegata. So these are all grown from leaves. The problem with propagating a variegated plant from leaves is that some of them will revert back to normal. So now this is like the normal non-variegated form now. So that biggest one there. First of all, I'll take this one here because I can see the variegated one. So this is like a weak variegation as well. So this is going to possibly die, because that part there, that can absorb chlorophyll, or it can photosynthesize, but the white ones, or the whiter part, will not. So there's only a thin layer of green. So anything that's green is what's gonna, in the center as well, is sort of greening on the edges there. So we need to put this, expose this into sunlight to try and absorb as much sunlight as it can, so that way it can grow. So I'll put this aside for now, and then I'll separate the rest here. And then that one there, half is variegated, but that could still revert back as well. So I just remove the soil. And then this one here, I would like to take that one out. Okay, so my soil in this one is actually, okay, there's another one that's growing, so that's a baby. So this one now, the soil is actually, half of it is my master succulent soil mix. So you can see the mix in the bottom there. So, okay, and so you can see it now. So the other half on top, so I put an inch of coconut peat or cocoa coir, so they can grow much faster. See, look at the roots, nice healthy roots. So this one now, that will produce a lot more variegated babies for me. So this one now will revert to normal. The normal ones, I am just terrible. Just because you're normal. Yeah, I'm going to just put you in. See, that's a variegated leaf. But the growth now is normal. So a lot of them will revert back to normal. There's just nothing you can do about it. But that's just going to get placed in an ordinary pot until it shows signs of variegation. So this one is still sort of variegated, and look how many heads it's got. Okay. I think I might as well take out the whole lot, because this is just so... Oh, another one here. Another baby variegated one. It's just so packed in. I'll come back to you when I finish this. So this is the mommy head, and it's all white. That's eventually gonna die, but anyway, but I'm not gonna let her die alone. I'm gonna put some white babies with her as well, so I'll put that aside for now. But the rest of the crew here, or the gang here, see that one, that will be a beautiful one. So this one, it's gonna be a beautiful variegated one. And so they are all in here now. There you go. So you get to see my setup. Look, that is what I have to do here. I need a better camera room or studio. Anyway, so this one now we're gonna pop this up. So I won't touch the cocoa peat or the coconut coir, because the roots will just grow through that. So. That one's beautiful. So that might die, but this one will hopefully continue to variegate. And I can see some variegated leaves in here as well. And also see that funny shape one there. So hopefully that will grow more like that. It will be good if they do. I could put this in individual pots, but the problem is I have to be here to water it. And if I'm not here to water it, this is the best way I know how to go away for a long time without watering my plants. And they basically look after themselves. And the green ones, which hopefully will still variegate, I'm still gonna put it here on the edges. And that one's quite large, with lots of babies. So I bought the plant, the original plant, actually only a year ago. I thought a year and a half ago, but it's actually only a year ago. And then now, look how many babies I've got. So exciting. Okay, so even that one, we'll put it there. And that one too. We'll find a spot somewhere. You can just get inserted in there. And all the loose leaves as well. Doesn't matter how small they are. Look at that double. We'll just drop it here because they might still grow. And then I'll just take this outside tomorrow and that's it, she's done. So according to information I've gathered, that this white Nexana won't be able to sustain itself and therefore will die, and I don't want her to die alone, so I'm gonna give her a company. Okay. So I'll put another one of these over here in the corner. So that way, if that one does die, then at least it's got another one to replace it. And just for good measure, we'll put a couple of the leaves as well hiding there. I've now put some granite on top. It's just best to do that so that when they do grow, they have somewhere to rest their leaves and they're not gonna get soaked or they won't be sitting in water. Before I leave, if there's a week wherein there's sunny weather, then I can give them some of my seaweed conditioner. Otherwise, I am not gonna water them until I come back. My Echeveria Nexana variegata has joined the ranks of all these newly propagated babies. Should we look at the newly propagated ones or should we stick to that one? So this is now March, April, May. So 2 months for these ones. They are growing happily. And I've watered them twice since I got them. But in saying that, we do get frosts and we have a couple of days wherein it rained. Oh, not actually a couple of days, a few days that it rained. So they have been enjoying the rain and everything. And if I feel this one, this is really heavy. Our Nexana here, since the soil is still a bit dry, this is far lighter than this one. Oh, this one is like 3 times the weight. Oh my goodness. So now this one, I haven't watered it yet. So now I'm gonna go. So I thought while I'm still here, I'm best watering it. They are growing happily and I'm trying to inspect these ones here. There's a variegated one in the bottom there that's popping out. So these two here, which is the one that reverted, would probably still have a chance of going variegated again, because this one now I can see a little bit of glimmer of hope. There's an overall lightness to the plant now compared to how it was a couple of weeks ago when I repotted it. And this one here now, look how cute that one is, that little Nexana trumpet. I hope I grow more of this trumpet here. And the rest of them, that one, so I'll have probably 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 sort of definite variegated, but this one's here, I doubt that that will grow. That'll probably die. And that one too, but that one has got another plant on the side as well, so it might still grow. And then this one too, that little baby, while they're still small, there's still hope. Then they get bigger and become ugly, then there's no chance. And then that one there, that will definitely be a dead one. Also that one there, but the other one on the right hand side will survive. I will survive. Okay, I'm gonna water it now. So I'm using my seaweed conditioner to give these babies a good foundation to grow strong and healthy. And variegated plants shouldn't be exposed to the sun, or else they're going to lose their variegation. So this is the perfect spot for growing them. And the beauty of this, because there's gaps in between, so if we do get rain, they have a chance of getting watered. So I'm really like soaking the whole pot here. And it's forecast -3 tonight, and here I am watering them. But that's why it's important to use a seaweed conditioner, because I swear by it. Okay, I saw my beautiful, is that moonbeam or moon something? Blue moon. But anyway, so this is it. I'm just watering and looking at my pretty babies here. And I'm not saying that they're pretty babies because they're mine. It's just that they are very pretty plant. And any skeptical people, skeptical about succulents, I have someone came in here, said that they all look the same. And so I told her, oh well, you're probably not suited to grow succulents, because to me, one has to appreciate the beauty of these plants, and if you do, you will see that they are different. Oh my goodness, my pudgy, I watered it. That's it, it's gonna die. Doesn't matter. That is my leaving pudgy, or pudgy number 2, because I bought 2, and they both fell out of favors with me. And this video is going to be really long, but anyway, oh yes, which reminds me, yeah, the pudgy, I'll show you the pudgy now. Oh, this one, oh my goodness, that is so cute. Look at that one, only baby still. I don't even know what your name is again. So do you have a name on the other side? It says variegated markers, but it's this one here. All this blue minima. Oh, look at that. That's a leaf propagation. And all this, since I got it, like 3 years old. And look at the size. 2 of them. See? Look! My fingernail is almost, my little pinky fingernail is bigger than those 2. Oh, yeah, pudgy, sorry. Look what happened to my pudgy. This is now a leaf grown from my second pudgy. So this is pudgy number 2. And oh, look how beautiful that is now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 heads. And it had another brother or sibling or sister in here, but that one just fell apart again. So, okay. But I just kept leaving them there, so when they fall apart, the new ones sort of, I drop it off and then they grow again. So look at that. So you can see that still my propagation soil mix I've got in there. It's a sieved master succulent soil mix. So I just sieved my master succulent soil mix, and that's why they're so fine. And this one now, so it's gonna go back in here to grow beautiful and pretty. So I'm gonna try and put it in the center here of the camera so you can see this beautiful pudgy.